Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter from Brownie Culture. I'm a divorce mediator and I help you create a customized divorce so that you can uncouple consciously and respectfully. Yesterday, we talked about the needs of kids based upon their age, and that was part one. That was ages from birth to 5, things you should think about as you're separating and divorcing, how that will affect your children. So today, we're going to talk about ages 6 to 18, and just know that there's no like, oh, you're 6 now. Everything that was when you were 5 doesn't apply. Obviously, we know that's not true. So there's some, blurring of lines between the two. Before we begin, I want to let you know that I've taken all of this information and I put it in a blog for you. And as soon as this video is over, I will post that link as the first comment on this video so that you can go directly to the blog. I wrote it in bullet points so that it's easier for you to read, and it's broken down based on age. So you don't have to read the whole thing. You can just go to the age you're concerned about and take a look at that. Also, there are a couple of sources that I use, but one I hyperlinked for you, and it is this book. It's called Parenting Apart by Christina McGee. Um, it looks like it was written a long time ago. It was only 10 years ago. It's just, if you're like me, I used to work at Barnes and Noble. I totally judge a book by its cover. I'm like, oh, nope, not getting that. But I happened to hear this woman speak in February. Amazing, amazing. And then I flipped through this book. Good grief. This is gold. So, and it's written in such a way that you can open it up and go chapter by chapter all the way through, or you can go ahead and find your place where the information that you need. This is a great resource, so it's linked on my blog. It'll take you straight to Amazon so that you can purchase this book. This is a fabulous book. All right, so let's get started. Let's talk about ages 6 to 8. Now, yes, kids who are 5 should be in kindergarten, but really at this point, 6 through 8, that's really when they get into elementary school and first grade. So this is things begin to change even more for these kids. So if your children are in this age range and you're first now separating or divorcing, they may be really, really sad. Their life has just been turned upside down. Everything that they knew about who they are and what family is completely turned upside down, and they don't know what's going on. During this time, it's really important to spend one-on-one time with your kids. Now, if you're not divorced yet, or maybe you are, and you have decided, well, I've moved on from him or I've moved on from her, and now I'm living with my boyfriend and his kids or my girlfriend and her kids. If that's something that you've chosen to do, I would like to encourage you to continue to spend one-on-one time with your child so that when they come to visit you, they have special alone time with dad or special alone time with mom. That's really important. And if you've got more than one kid, if somehow I only have one kid, so if you've got more than one kid, if somehow you can manage that one-on-one time, that's really good. They need that. They need to feel that they're special and they're loved and they're important because they are. Stay involved in their activities. So just because they're not with you all the time anymore, or maybe you've moved a little bit further away, go to their baseball games, go to their music recitals, go to their award ceremonies at school. Stay involved and be present. Just because it's not your parenting day, so to speak, it doesn't mean you can't show up at a park and cheer them on for soccer. They need that. They need that. They may, because they're older, may have loyalty conflicts. They may feel like, well, mom did this to dad, and I love mom, but I think I need to be loyal to dad. No, don't encourage that. Allow them to love both parents. They don't have to pick and choose a side. That is not required. Encourage them to talk about their feelings. Now, for all kids, and I think adults too, we lack language around feelings. We don't necessarily know how we feel. Especially for little kids, they'll say, mad, I feel mad, I feel happy, or I feel sad, I feel happy. They don't have the language. And as a school teacher, I'm just like, any other words besides happy or sad? Come on now. But that's our job as adults to teach them additional vocabulary. Good morning. Once again, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter. If you're joining me live, please say hello so I can say hello back to you. This is something that I use all of the time. It's been sitting on my refrigerator for almost 2 years now. So you know that my son is 5. So this means we started, and he's going on 6. We started using this when he was 4. And you can find anything like this online. It doesn't matter. This is called the Feeling Foxes Feeling Chart, and it has little images and little words. And as he began to read, he can kind of understand these. You're like, this has been on your refrigerator for 2 years. How is it so nice? Because I'm a nerd and I put in a sheet protector. Sheet protectors. Go Staples. Go to Office Depot. We also have a little magnet. This little Mickey Mouse magnet. So he can go to the refrigerator and he could put his magnet wherever he wants of how he's feeling. And sometimes he's like, Mommy, how are you feeling? Or sometimes he's like, Mommy, you're feeling tired because I'm cranky. Right? And we just put it there. And it's good for him to see that I have feelings too. It also gives him language like nervous and frustrated. And honestly, now if you had a teenager, if I was a teenager and my parent put this on here and was like, tell me how you feel, I would definitely be insulted. But there are more sophisticated feeling charts and feeling wheels that have more sophisticated vocabulary. Language is like color, and there are nuances to that. So there's a big difference between angry and incensed, right? There's a big difference. Happy and elated. There are nuances to language, and giving them that additional vocabulary will give you insight into how they're feeling and it will empower them to express themselves. So this is something I use, and it's not like we make a rule of it and like, okay, go to the refrigerator and tell me how you're feeling. You know, it just kind of happens naturally. I would like to encourage you to do that, to increase their vocabulary. At this age, your child may be, loving and sweet and then suddenly become more aggressive or withdrawn because they're angry and upset and they're processing things. That is normal. They may feel like, ooh, I lost a parent, like nobody died, but they feel like they lost them. They moved out. I might lose other things that are important to me. I might lose this toy. I might lose a friend. Something bad may happen. The other shoe may drop. So part of your job as a parent is to reassure them that they didn't lose their parent. Their parent is still there. They still love them. They'll still see them. They're still involved in their life. You see me looking down because I am looking at my notes. They're quite extensive and these are paraphrased. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything important for this age range. As always with all ages, remember to set limits and remember to encourage a good relationship with their other parent. So for ages 9 through 12, so that's like 4th grade through 7th grade, they begin to experience a lot of developmental changes again. So when they were a baby, they were going through a lot of developmental stages. And now as they're approaching middle school, oh my goodness, you're going to be sitting there one day be like, what happened to my sweet child? Your sweet child's going to go away whether you get divorced or not. They'll come back. But at this age, woo, they change. Now, they are becoming more and more dependent upon their friends. I saw on Facebook the other day, a friend of mine, they had a little drive-through for her 8th grader. And there's a picture that the mom took of the daughter crying. And she was crying because she missed her friends so much. At this age especially, and continuing as they get older, kids need their friends. That's like their lifeline. They need their friends. At this age, if you're going through a divorce separation, your kids may withdraw from their friends. They may not want to see them. So part of your role as a parent is to encourage those relationships with their friends. Encourage them to invite them over, to hang out, to go visit, to go to the mall whenever, that'll fully open again, whatever. You want to encourage those relationships. Stay involved and connected with them. Continue to attend their activities. Continue to check their homework. Continue to ask them questions. Talk to their teacher. Stay involved. They are going to want to be more independent, and encourage that. Allow them to be more independent. Give them a little more freedom. As they age, they get more freedom. As they're responsible, they get more freedom and more trust. You're setting limits on misbehavior. So, if they act a fool or something, they're going to have to regain that trust. Everybody goes through that. Your child may experience psychosomatic symptoms. So they may go to the nurse's office at school complaining of headaches or stomach aches, and there's no real cause. And that's just the effects of the separation and the change, and they're having a hard time adjusting. They may decline in their school performance. That's where you kind of got to be on top of them. You allow them to feel how they're feeling, but that's not an excuse for bad grades. That's not an excuse for slacking off. You still have to be their parent. You're their parent, you're not their friend. You can be their friend when they're grown and they got kids, and then you could laugh at them and be like, yeah, it was tough raising you too. They may be really angry, they may and they may not, but some kids may get really, really angry and blame the parent they think is responsible for the divorce. Do not allow your child to hit you. Do not allow your child to berate you. They can be angry, but that's not okay, right? You can be angry at your boss, but you don't go and hit him or her or cuss them out. Neither would you allow your child to do that. That we have language. This is why we're teaching them vocabulary again. We have language to help them express how they're feeling in a healthy way. The flip side is your child may be like, everything's fine. Nothing's happening. I'm fine. I'm good. That facade is going to crack. When it does, be there with love and support for your child and love them unconditionally. Create a safe place where they can be themselves without judgment, and that'll help them be more secure. If at the beginning stages of this, your child is having a hard time adjusting to going back and forth between the houses, you should definitely be more flexible in the parenting exchanges. Of course, working with your ex or soon-to-be ex, but don't allow their uncomfortableness to have them alienate the other parent. Don't let them completely get out of it. No, you want to encourage that good relationship. This is a transition time. They're transitioning to more of it, but this is not time to feed your ego. And look, when I say these things, I'm talking to me too, right? We all want to feed our egos. This isn't the time to do that. Be like, oh, they like me more. Or the other side, be like, oh my God, my kid doesn't like me. What have I done? Nothing. You've not done anything. They're a kid. They're fickle. You are still their parent. So encourage flexibility no matter which side it's on, but don't encourage them to alienate themselves from their parents. They need their parents. Consistency between the two houses is really important. So if the kid knows that you are working together and that the two of you work together, then you're a united front even in different households. Ooh, that's powerful. They can get away with less stuff. I know, because we were all kids, right? We all tried to get away with stuff, but we all respected our parents. When maybe not at the time, but as we grew older, we respected them for setting limits and setting boundaries. So they'll come back and thank you for it. Ages 13 through 18. This is the end of middle school through high school. Don't think for 1 second, oh, well, he's 15, she's 16. We don't need a parenting plan. They're just going to go wherever they want to go. The judge will not sign off on that. The judge will not let you get away with that. You must have a parenting plan. You must have a parenting plan. At the beginning, especially, don't forget to be flexible with your schedule to allow them, like if they have a job, maybe there's a parenting plan, but their boss schedules them to work on a night and dad or mom lives in a different city. Well, maybe on that night that they work, they stay an extra night with that other parent. And then they'll make it up some other time. That's the type of flexibility they need, because high schoolers especially, they are gaining independence. They need more independence. They may, depending on their personality, become even more independent as a response to this divorce, or less. And I lost my train of thought. Oh, I got it back. Okay. So there's a lot of milestones during this time. 8th grade promotion, high school graduation, football games, dances, selecting a college, taking really important tests. This is really important. This is their time to shine. Everybody comes. If once we have graduations again, everybody comes, the whole family comes, you get tickets for the high school graduation, you shove as many people there, you have a party, and the parents are getting a divorce and they're fighting. And the child is supposed to be the center of attention, but they're not. That's not fair to them. And they're going to maybe rage against that. So don't allow your divorce to overshadow your child and how important they are. Continue to ask questions. Just because they act like they don't need their parents anymore doesn't mean it's true. That's an act. They're pretending. They don't necessarily want you. They want you involved, but they're not going to tell you that they want you involved. So continue to ask questions. I have a good friend. She's got 3 boys. I know that as my boy gets older, I'm going to be calling her again and be like, Louise, what the heck do I do? Moms, I encourage you, talk to other moms. I will never be a dad. I don't want to be a dad. I want to be a good mom. Dads, talk to other dads. You'll never be a mom, but you could be an amazing dad. Talk to other dads about how they raise their kids. She told me, I was like, how did you stay connected to your boys? You know, especially in this age range. She said, if I'm remembering wrong, and if Louise watches this, hopefully she'll correct me. But she said she would go into their rooms and sit on their beds and talk to them. She would initiate conversation. How was your day? What happened at school? And then she would just let them talk and let them talk and let them talk and let them talk. And she has a really good relationship with all 3 of her grown sons. So initiate conversation. Don't be put off when they don't want to talk to you. Go talk to them. They're pushing you away, and part of it is that they want to see if you're still there. They want to see, ooh, can I push her away? Can I push him away? Or will they still be there? All right, we are almost done. Your child, especially at this age, at any age, children may need therapy. And you have to decide, okay, how different is my child's behavior? Is this really drastic? Are their grades dropping really badly? Or do they have no friends? That's something you might want to consider therapy, and you might want to talk to your soon-to-be ex or your ex about that. But take all threats of suicide seriously, even if they're joking. Take all threats of suicide seriously. It is not worth the risk. All right, I think that's all for today. Please be encouraged. Whenever we as human beings face change, we need to adjust. There's an adjustment period. The more unified you and your soon-to-be ex are, the more happy and well-adjusted your children, no matter what age they are, they will become happy and well-adjusted adults. So there are a lot of things that are in your control. And as a last thing, I'm just remembering this. While we want both parents, and you should encourage both parents to be involved, if one parent completely decides to withdraw and not have any more contact with your children, you want to bring somebody of the same gender into their life. So if dad decides to not have any contact with them, no matter if the child is male or female, bring male figures into their life, such as a pastor or a coach or a teacher or somebody like that. Same with mom. If mom decides to completely withdraw and have nothing to do with children, bring female figures into your child's life, no matter if that child is a female or a male. That could once again be a coach, a pastor, a teacher, a trusted friend, grandparents, aunts and uncles, older cousins. Bring those positive role models of the same gender of the person who has completely left. That will really help your children to develop positive attributes, to see there is to not think that all women are bad, to not think that all men are bad, and to have positive role models so that they can go and look for that in a future spouse, or they can grow up to emulate themselves. Once again, my name is Claudia Brown Culture from Brownie Culture. I know that divorce can be scary, but I'm here to help you be calm and stay empowered. You can do this. I have absolute faith in you. And remember that your life is only going to get better as you make good choices for yourself and for your children. their lives will get better too.